extremist philosophy of a kind of intelligentsia has created an atmosphere where India cannot remain one. Every day they are bringing out something. You are changing for one thing, another thing comes. Then you start changing one thing, then another thing comes. That's why I told that I have in dream these Taj and John there and Rajendra Sachar. So the bill was framed. There are two major criteria for the bill. This is the only bill which is without preface. Why they are creating bill, they are not saying in the bill. They have created the bill. I am king and queen, I will create. Who are you to ask why we are creating the bill? After all, this is the queen who is creating the bill. Without preface this bill. In newspaper articles they are writing. They are giving why they have framed the bill. Two reasons they are giving. First reason they are giving that Muslims are discriminated since independence. So there is an institutional discrimination of the Muslim by judiciary, by police, by bureaucracy, by academic institutions. So Muslims are getting marginalized. Number one, that may be. Second, they are giving logic that throughout the history of communal rights, the communal rights is being started by the majority community. Ultimate victim is the minority community. These are the two premises of the bill. That's why in the bill they have changed the definition of communal violence, communal and targeted violence. Any spontaneous and systematic attack on the members of the group is a communal violence. Right from medieval age to modern age, we have one definition of the communal violence. The fight between two religious communities, two caste communities is known as a communal violence. It is our honorable justice and judges to decide who are guilty, who are not the guilty. Who initiated the riots, who did not initiate the riots. But this bill achieves that in future, if any riot would take place, the guilty would be the majority community. In 2040, 2080, 2090, if any communal riot takes place, victim would be so-called minority community and the aggressor would be the majority community. So first arrest would be made from the majority community. Victim means the people belonging to group. In 1870s, British government made a law, Criminal Trials Act, in which it declared 250 tribals as criminals. So their generation by generation, their sons and daughters were declared criminals. There cannot be Buddha, there cannot be JP, there cannot be any sannyasi in these families. All will be criminal. It was assumed. On the pattern of this is a resurrection of that Criminal Trials Act. Now this is a Criminal Hindu Act. All Hindu are communal. Their aggression, they generate and initiate riots. They don't use the term Hindu and Muslim. But the hidden agenda is no more the hidden agenda. They are calling the majority community as the initiator of the riots. Who is the majority community in this country? In most of the states. This bill is not applicable in Jammu and Kashmir. Even if it is applicable in Jammu and Kashmir, you see the Kashmiri Pandits could not be sent back to Kashmir Valley. What kind of life they are living in this country, we all understand. And ISI funded intellectuals, intelligentsia, and most of them are framing the bill for us. So I was talking the two premises of the bill. One was Muslim backwardness and discrimination. I am giving you the statistics provided by the government of India. Census Commission. Since 1961 to 2001, the rate of growth in the Muslims in all the states is higher than the Hindu rate of growth. I am giving certain examples of some states. Assam, the general population grew at the rate of 140%, and Muslim population grew at the rate of 200%. In Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, general population growth was 196%, and Uttar Pradesh, the Muslim population grew at the rate of, general population grew at the rate of 136%, Muslim population grew at the rate of 196%, and in Bihar, 201%. In Haryana, the general growth of the population, average rate of population growth was 178%, and Muslim population grew at the rate of 321%. In Delhi, capital city of India, the general growth of the population is at the rate of, you guess, 421%, and Muslim population grew merely at the rate of 944%. In Orissa, general population grew 109%, and Muslim population grew at the rate of 253%. In Kerala, general population grew at the rate of 88%, and Muslim population grew at 159%. In Madhya Pradesh, 150% general, they have grew to 22%. In 1947, India and Pakistan became two nation states. Hindus are counted on fingers in Pakistan. This is marginalization, this is discrimination. Here, they are counted in the percentage. So, my dear friends, there is no discrimination. There may be mind quoting Humayun Kabir. There cannot be intellectual like Humayun Kabir. A.A.F. Faizi, he was a member of the Union Public Service Commission. Justice M.H. Beg. What? Humayun Kabir said, a Brahmin will blame other caste for discrimination, other caste will blame Brahmin for discrimination. A Hindu will blame Muslim for discrimination, Muslim will blame Hindus for discrimination. The reason is lack of adequate resources for the people. There is a nepotism, there is a casteism, there is a communalism, but there is no institutional bias in this secular country. Exception cannot be law. I may be biased, but for me, our honorable justice cannot be declared biased. One Muslim may be biased, for due to him, entire Muslim community cannot be declared biased. So they say there is institutional discrimination. Why institutional discrimination? They say we are backward. We are lagging behind the majority community Hindu. That is some way this is a fact. My another counter question is, in 1870, British government created a Hunter committee which examined the backwardness of the Muslims. In 2005, then such a committee was created by the European government which examined the backwardness of the Muslims. In 1920, 30, 40 Muslims demanded reservation for due to their backwardness. The same thing happened in 2010. So my question with them, what is the difference between the demands raised during the colonial period and demands raised after the independence? What are the premises for the backwardness before independence? What are the premises for the backwardness after the independence? What are the logic for reservation before independence? What are the logic after the independence? There is no fundamental difference. So if you are backward, so there is no fundamental differences that demand. So basic thing is that no community should be backward, no community should remain unprotected. So something lies in their religious social thinking. And the first major thing that if your religious outlook, if your religious viewpoint is stopping you for getting justice, getting modern education, you must rethink over it. If any honest commission examines the backwardness of the Muslims, they must examine what is the basic reason lies in their religious worldview. You are sending their children to madrasa. Second Education Commission wrote to the Queen that most of the Muslim parents love to send their children to madrasa. And one Muslim Islamic Voice published from Bangalore published an article by Jogendra Sikand, he is an expert on the Muslim affairs. In 2006 he is writing, I have prepared a bibliography of the Muslim writings on the education. Most of the writings on education is concerned to Islamic history of Islamic education, history of education in classical Islamic civilization. There is no place for the need for the modern education. Scientific knowledge. Then he asked one of the editors of the Muslim Journal, why don't you write? He said, we know that if in true sense Islam is followed, all problems will be resolved. So why we waste time on writing on modern education? True solution lies in the following Islam, becoming true Muslim. So according to their worldview, knowledge of Islamic law is the scholarly knowledge. Knowledge of education in Islamic worldview is the real knowledge. That's why most of the people remaining in the small areas, guided by the masjid and mullahs, remain backward, and a microscopic minority of the Muslims who are influenced by the Western education, modern civilization, they get the place. So the reason for backwardness during 1870 when Hunter Committee was formed, and the reason for backwardness in 2005 when such a committee was formed, they are akin. They are similar. So real disease were somewhere else, you are investigating something else. Second question they have raised, that most of the riots had been initiated by the Hindus. My dear friends, those who initiate riots, they are neither Hindus, they are not Muslims. They are criminals. They should be dealt by the law, by judiciary, by the police and administration. They cannot be religious people, they cannot be civilized people. Whether it is the right of 2002 Godhra riots or after Godhra or any other riots in the country. But misleading information does not work. In 2007, Home Ministry formed a committee to examine the reasons of the communal riots. A report of the working group of the National Integration Council to study the reports of the Commissions of Inquiry on Communal Rights 2007, Ministry of Home Affairs 2007. This is available on internet. So I am giving 2 and 3 instances how the riots begins. A report of the Justice Shiv Dayal Srivastava on Commission of Inquiry, riots at Jabalpur, Sagar, Damoh and Narsimhapur